Gentlemen, head coach Troy G. Ward.
Troy, yes, your thoughts tonight?
Well, we feel fortunate to get a point, you know. It was fortunate to get a point.
How would you assess your special teams in this series against Hamilton?
I don't know, I got to watch tonight's film a little bit. That's some areas we struggled. I mean, scoring goals for or giving up goals against doesn't necessarily mean how we play. That's a result. Like, there's a 2-minute segment, so I got to look at the full picture. But, you know, we did get some power play goals, which is, you know, been part of our team all year. We seem to be better in odd-numbered situations than we do even at scoring, so that was good. Usually we prevent goals in the 4 or 5 better than we did at least tonight, you know. So, but it makes it tough when you take a lot of penalties. Like, that's just inevitable. So.
Just curious, Coach, your thoughts on Danny Taylor and his play, and not only tonight, but since he's come to this hockey team.
It's been good. It's been real good. I'm happy with Danny.
What do you think of his play tonight, and just how he maybe battled out there?
It was fun.
Tough period for you guys. I seem to tilt their way a bit. I mean, what happened to your club during that period of time from your perspective?
I think that was just a result of the first two, you know. It's like a ball of yarn at the top of the stairs. By the time it gets to the bottom, there's nothing left. We just unraveled. It's just the way the game went from start to finish. You know, I just thought we were fortunate enough to hang in there and get a point.
Why do you think there were so many penalties on both sides tonight?
Well, I think it's a Sunday afternoon game. First of all, I don't. We're a development league. Like, these are young guys, so like, even though there are some older guys in both teams, but it's still a development league. Young kids like these guys, like what we're learning about the 1 o'clock games, I think, and what we've learned other places we've played, even the like 11 o'clock or 10:30 game in San Antonio, and a lot of these guys, it's tough. Like, they struggle mentally to get themselves ready to go. Like, their whole routine is not normal. I think just the development of the game itself is a lot for them, and then you throw it on a quicker time frame where they got to go to bed earlier on a Saturday, and just the whole thing. It hasn't seemed to be as natural for us as we'd like to be at this point. But the only way you get better in life is through repetition. So, you know, this is how they get better. So, because someday if they get traded or they play in the, you know, in the East, like when I coached Penguins, like, you play a lot of 1 o'clock games. You play a lot of noon games in the NHL, and like, you got to get used to it. So this is the breeding ground for that, and I think that was part of it. And then the other part of the penalties today for me was just a 2-referee system. I think that was a big part of it too, for sure. This whole weekend, there's a 2-referee system, and we haven't had that a lot. I think one of them is I think one's calling his first games ever as in a 2-referee system. Like, and I'm not saying he was good or bad. I'm just saying, like, that's part of the process too.
What are you going to do to change all those penalties?
Well, it's a good question. It's a real good question. Like, it's like I've told you before, and we talked about this on Friday night's interview. Penalties are a result of positioning issues, and then they're mental issues. It's a product of hockey sense. Like, the same guys, if they're taking the same penalties over and over, then obviously, like, we don't like how they're reading situations and the position they're putting themselves in. So, you know, those are things that not only are we going to examine, but I think that our organization will examine, because you got to have people that can think in order to be successful in this business, and we've got to address it. We've already addressed it by sitting players. We've addressed it by not dressing players in games. We've addressed it by sending guys down to the East Coast League. Like, we've addressed it in every which way possible. But eventually, you know, you just got to keep going with the process of how you look at certain players in certain situations, and then it becomes obviously a long-winded answer, but you have to manage their ice time. Meaning, if you put guys in certain situations over and over, and through a period of time you see them taking the same penalties at the same situation, then it's time to not put them in those positions anymore. So you eliminate them from those situations, i.e., you're killing 4 or 5, and then you take another penalty, and it's the same guy putting you down 3-5. Well, then you just don't play him 4 or 5. It's pretty simple.
good? Yep. Thank you, Coach.
Yep.